Having been away for 5 weeks has given me a lot of clarity. It has given me an overview as in what I want to achieve, and it also has shown me what I need to do. Now, part of it is because I had training, part of it is because I stayed with friends, part of it is because I stayed at hotels, and well, part of it is because some things needed changing over here. Now, what I noticed this holiday, or whatever you want to call it, vacation, is I normally I am like, oh yeah, oh my god, FOMO, fear of missing out. And that means that whatever I see, I want it. And this time around, it was so different. It was kind of fun because this time around, I brought a suitcase in a suitcase because usually I end up buying an extra suitcase. So I was like, okay, this time around, let's not bother. Let's just put suitcase in the suitcase and see what we end up with. And well, I didn't pack much more during the trip than what I set out with, which is a good thing. And it told me that the fear of missing out has started to go away. The good news is that that also applies to me being here. I don't want necessarily to hold on to things too much. And I'm not afraid any longer to change certain things like, oh, but if I do, what's going to happen? Well, the question basically is if I don't, what's going to happen? And with every move I'm making, and a bunch of reasons that I didn't do it consisted of emotions of what am I going to lose, especially when it came to the memories of my parents, but also maybe I'm close to saying perfection, and then again related to FOMO, and before you're like, what? Well, it's like now I know what I've got, so that's sort of perfect. But once I change it and I start working on it, what if it turns to chaos? And what if I'm missing stuff because I don't know that I'm missing it? And what I mean with missing is not having it, but missing things, and as a result, it's not as good as it could be. Ooh, that's not a nice one, right? Because then we get back to perfection, and there is no such thing as perfection. Well, that's something that I've learned in the last year. Well, and probably longer than that. That there's no such thing as perfection, but I've been saying it a lot this last year, and every time I try to make something perfect, I'm like, no, let's just get it out there. That's better than not doing anything at all. And I think this is thanks to Brendon Burchard and also to Evan Carmichael. And I'm not sure also to Ed Milet, but Evan Carmichael and Brendon Burchard, absolutely. And if you wonder who they are, then just look them up or hit me up and I'll provide you with some links. Anyway, for me, this blog post is about a mixture of things. But most importantly, it's about clarity. So I'm also going to do a clarity challenge later this week. I need to set it up. I have done it a few times before, but I need to check it. So that's what I am going to do. But it's, over the years, I've been multiple times, of course, in hotels. I've had training multiple times, but this time something has shifted. I can tell it in the way that I am now that I'm here. Honestly, I was a little worried about the cold, but it's not that cold. It's actually nice. It's mild. It's not as warm, of course, or as hot as it was in the US, but over here it's very doable. But I also noticed that, I'm in a good spot. I'm in a good place. I'm working on stuff that I need to work on right now. And, well, getting my, I want to say my stuff out there, but what I mean is getting my message across like every day. I'm still doing that, so that's a good thing. And also working on some things, like for instance, my Spanish. There are some things that I sort of missed. Well, right now it's showing. A lot has to do with past tense. So I'm really working on it. I've got this little booklet, and and at the back I have written down which words are in there, which verbs actually. And then at the beginning of the booklet, you can actually see which verb has which way of, I don't know how to describe that, but how it transforms, let's put it that way. So getting back to the clarity, I realized that clarity also has to do with courage. Isn't that funny? Because do you dare to change? And then we get back to change. And those things are really related to one another. And sometimes we need a reason to actually go do something. But also having seen certain things also really helps. Now, this year, or better said, last Christmas, I had this idea of building a firehouse. Probably inspired by checking out the firehouses, Chicago Fire. And I'm not sure how many firehouses we actually saw last year. I don't think that many. But somehow, I don't know, maybe I saw it on internet or marketplace. I was like, I'm going to build a fire station. And this year I went to various fire stations, and then I saw the one from Backdraft, and I was like, oh, I need to build that one. And it was kind of funny because over at that same firehouse, they actually had a model of the Backdraft firehouse. I think there might actually have been a real one at Lego, which is then, of course, immensely expensive by now. But I wanted to create something myself. Now, the thing is, and then we get back to FOMO, and I don't know if it's perfection or not entirely sure. But I, at some point, started collecting Lego. It started with flowers, and then I realized it was nice to actually do something. Then I realized it was easier to get stuff from the wall. Then I realized that I missed certain things, so then I would buy a box. And somehow it became here a big storage unit of Lego. Now, for a while now, I know it's actually bugging me because it works against me instead of for me. And for a while now, I have said to a friend, I'm going to bring Lego stuff. So every once in a while, I actually do bring stuff over. But this time I said, be prepared. There are going to be some shopping bags with Lego. Her kids are 7 and 10, so that's easy. But what I realized was that I needed to look at those firehouses. So I had said to myself, I'm going to build one. And today I actually took the various boxes that I had bought and started looking at, okay, so how do I want to set it up? So I started at first with what was said in one of the boxes in the manuals. And I was like, yeah, but that's not what it looks like. So I looked at my videos. What does it look like? And realized that I missed some colors. And I was like, okay, I'll just start with, this part and then we'll go from there. And then it was like, okay, but perfection, it doesn't need to be perfect. But when it comes to clarity and cleaning up, I do realize that by sorting out what I need now, I can bring all the other stuff to my friend's house. The kids can play with it. If I need it, I can always pick it up. So, but it creates overview, and that's what I need right now. Now, there is a little thing that didn't go exactly the way it should. I realized at some point that yes, I'd done Spanish. Yes, I'd been doing Lego, and meanwhile, I was catching up on something which didn't really need my attention. Okay. Sorry for that one. If you hear it, I didn't edit it out. And that's called, this is recorded on the spot. It's not necessarily live, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I did realize that today's Monday, so at least somewhere in the world, in the US, it's still Monday. Over here, it's actually Tuesday. But this is the normal time that I actually get stuff out there. So I was like, I've slept a lot during the day. And, well, I've been working on the other stuff, but I still want that blog post out there. So it was like, okay, I need to keep continuing on with the things which are important. And that's a little bit of struggle for me, because now it's like, okay, I need to work on my taxes. Every quarterly, we need to do so. At the same time, I said this week, all the stuff is gone that I don't need anymore. And then there is being consistent with getting everything out there. Well, that's a nice combination. So, no perfection, which means I'm not going to edit the sneezes out. But yes, making sure that it's out there. And for me, it's easier to actually record a video now. I did write some things down. And I want you to think about what it is that you need clarity on and how you can actually get clarity. And for me, it helps to get out there. And especially having gone for 5 weeks, getting the training, staying with other people, being in a different environment has really helped me. So my question to you is, what's going to help you? Now, I want you to consider something, and that is, would you like to get out there too in order to get clarity of mind? If so, let me know. But more importantly, what do you want to get out of it? I'm at the firehouse, which has been used to backyard. So I just heard that they took down the front of the building and added it to the back. So I'm going to see what he was talking about. He is Jeff, and I have no clue if the previous video has recorded the whole lot. What I do know is that my plan is to actually make this fire station from Lego. Yes, you heard it right. So, well, that one didn't show on Lego. So let me walk on.
Injured from the wall, 3345 West 38th Lane. Repeat, engine 65. Injured from a fall. 3.
Okay, So let's get in. I got money for shirts. Oh, I only need one. So that's easy. Oh, look at that. Chinatown. And it looks amazing. Somehow it seems to fit in. So let's go see what's there.
So this is the Chinatown Firehouse movie background. One of the scenes was filmed here. The scene when the fire truck is leaving, you see the arch on the background of Chinatown. And that's that is right on
So what's the story behind the numbers?
the number 4. So the number 4, it's in the Asian community. Number 8 is like infinity. It's a really good number. Number 4 is not so good.
Oh no!
They don't like the Asian community. Number 4 is not a lucky number, and so we got the good number 8 and engine truck 4, which is like the yin and yang, if you may.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so
So
the good
number
lucky.
8, there's
Number
no
yeah,
symbol anymore?
the number 8 doesn't have a symbol right now because our fire truck got into an accident earlier.
Oh, okay.
Earlier in the year, so they're fixing it. But this is the engine company number 8.
Yeah.
So and you can see it's just got a number 8, but it doesn't have the Chinese number.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So,
Just a spare engine. So
yeah.
in this firehouse, we have an engine, a truck, an ambulance, which is 66, and then a battalion chief. We have a total of approximately 13 people.